let's gather round, an adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we pack, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all of our radio listeners or viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Department of Education, and we're here with you every Saturday to share updates, activities, information, anything that we can to help to keep all of you updated and up to speed with what is happening with our students, as well as opportunities that our students could access. Now, this is the first Saturday of May. I feel like we are running through the year. It's the first Saturday of May, and last week we alerted that the Gingerland Secondary School was hosting its anniversary pageant, and so this week we want to say congratulations to the winners, to all of the girls, all of the students who participated, and more specifically to the winners of the pageant. Of course, in second runner-up, we had Jadenique Griffin with 564 points. First runner-up, Mariah Daniels, 609 points. And Miss GSS 2023, the 50th anniversary Miss GSS, Miss Nikelsia Kelly with 631 points. We also had, for the judged segments, Best Speech Presentation, Nikelsia Kelly. Best Performing Talent, Jadenique Griffin. Best Evening Wear, Mariah Daniel and Nikelsia Kelly. Best Interview, Nikelsia Kelly. And for the non-judged segments, we had Miss Amity, Brianna Stewart, Miss Photogenic, Mariah Daniel, and Miss Popularity, Lakeisha Clark. The Chairperson's Award for the contestant went to Brianna Stewart, and the Chairperson's Award for Chaperone went to Nikita Thibu. We want to say congratulations to all who participated in this pageant. We want to say thank you and congratulations to the chaperones, the steering committee for the activity, and of course the school for hosting a pageant of very high standard. And we encourage all to continue to support our students in the various activities which they may undertake or initiate, and we know that all of these activities contribute to their overall growth and development. So congratulations once again to all involved, and we look forward to the other activities. As I said last time, the Gingerland Secondary School is celebrating 50 years of serving our community through education and holistic development, and so the anniversary activities have been spread out over the calendar year. We also have lots of activities coming up this term and this week actually, but before we go there, I want to share with you some of the scholarship opportunities which are still open. As we've said over the years, it's always better for you to be able to get access to tertiary education as close to free as possible. So any scholarship opportunities which arise, you're encouraged to apply to as many of them as possible so that you can leverage yourself and put yourself in a position to be able to succeed. And so we have the NIA MUA scholarship, and that scholarship is usually a very lucrative one. And so let me share the information with you. The 2023-2024 edition of the NIA MUA scholarship is currently open, and so the NIA, in collaboration with the Medical University of the Americas, encourages individuals who are interested in health sciences to apply for the NIA and MUA scholarship opportunity. 2 scholarships will be awarded for the successful candidates to pursue undergraduate studies at an accredited higher education institution. The scholarships support awardees for up to 4 years of their studies, while they attend the Medical University of the Americas, the University of the West Indies, the University of Technology, or any 4-year United States-based institution. Individuals who are already attending a university will not be considered for this scholarship. So this is a scholarship that you have to apply for before you start your tertiary education journey, because once you've been enrolled in another university and you're actively pursuing classes, or you have pursued classes, you are automatically eligible. Persons eligible to apply must be, listen to the criteria, at least 18 years old, a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis, have at least 5 CXC passes, including mathematics, English, and 1 science, must be active in community service, must be in possession of a university acceptance letter. So you can't decide to apply for this scholarship and having not applied to the university. So you should have applied, received your response ahead of applying for the scholarship. There are some priority areas for each year, and the 2023 priority areas are optometry, environmental health for environmental health officers, nutrition and dietetics, biomedical engineering, occupational therapy, speech therapy, social work, counseling, health information management, occupational health and safety radiology, digital health, health communication, pharmacology, supply chain management, and gender and development studies. For your application to be considered, candidates must present the following documents by June 2nd, 2023. And you know how quickly time flies, so make sure you start getting those documents together. A completed application form, birth or naturalization certificate, police record, passport-sized picture, certified copies of your CXC CSEC CAPE passes, copy of acceptance letter from tertiary institutions, official costing of the program including tuition, room, board, etc., letter of reference from a high school teacher, letter of reference from a community service organization stating your active involvement, and an 800 to 1,000 word essay stating your future goals and why you are deserving of the scholarship. Applications must be typewritten and submitted in hard copy to the address Chairperson MUA-NIA Scholarship Committee in care of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Administration Building, Charlestown, Nevis. And if you need any additional information on this application at all, please contact Mrs. Miss Shalissa Martin Clark, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health and Gender Affairs, Administration Building, or you can contact Mrs. Shanola Murray Gill, Training Officer, Ministry of Human Resources. So those are the persons you contact for this particular scholarship. And as I said, it is one that covers a large portion of costs for those persons pursuing the degrees in the areas outlined, but know that it is also one where you're expected to maintain a high standard and maintain a high level. And I recommend and I suggest that as we apply for various scholarships, that we bear in mind that once you've gotten a scholarship, it is important for you to continue to do the hard work. The amount of work you put into completing the form or to creating your history of excellence cannot stop, cannot slow down because you have received a scholarship. So that is a bit of advice for all of you as you complete these forms. Please stay ahead of it. Make sure you get them done early so that you can have someone review them. Lots of times you have lots of errors in scholarship applications, and you don't want that to be the case, because if you have errors in your application, that makes you look a little less focused and sometimes attractive. Especially it depends on who is reviewing those applications. So that's something to consider, and we encourage all persons who are interested in any of these areas to apply. We are going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll share some more scholarship opportunities as well as some upcoming events through the Department of Education. We'll be right back.
From Queen City, Nevis, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, Vaughn Radio.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Who's on the go? Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, who's on the go? Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gators, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Who's on the go? Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, who's on the go? Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Vaughn Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughn Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Department of Education, and today we have a bit of information to share with you as it relates to various opportunities in for our students, as well as various activities which are scheduled to take place, whether it be this week or during the course of this term. And we hope that you are saving the dates, that you're writing them down, because it is important for you to have a head start on the activities and have those documented as well. Before the break, we spoke about the MUA NIA scholarships, and please be reminded that you can get information from the Ministry of Health or the Ministry of Human Resources. Those are the points of contact for that particular scholarship. All other scholarships, which I will speak to this morning, I'm sharing with you from the NIHR Scholarships Facebook page as well. So if you want to go on and log on to the Facebook page and you find out what's happening, what scholarships are available, and it's current, it keeps up and it shares information as it is made available, and so including deadlines. So please make sure that you go on and you add that page, you like that page, you follow that page, so that you can keep up with what's happening, especially if you're aspiring to pursue higher education. It is important for you to know what is out there, and as I said, anything that we can do to reduce the cost would go a long way. Take it from someone who had a few years of loan payments after. If you can get the most you can get out, the more you can get out of it, the better it is for you. We have currently open as well the Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarship, and this one is coming from the Ministry of Human Resources. Nevis Island Administration wishes to inform you of the Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarships, QECS, for graduate academic studies through the Association of Commonwealth Universities. 6 fully funded master's scholarships are available, hosted by member institutions in countries across the Commonwealth, including South Africa, Sri Lanka, Fiji, Samoa, and Vanuatu. The QECS scholarship covers the following: fully funded tuition fees, living allowance or stipend for the duration of the award, return economy flights to host country, one-off arrival allowance, and research support grant on request only and subject to approval. For details regarding the scholarships, including eligibility requirements, host universities, and application process, interested applicants should be able to access a few links, and you should be able to get those links from the Facebook page I spoke to, or you can reach out to the Ministry of Human Resources there at Pinnes. The contact persons are Mrs. Shirley Jones-Leiber, Miss Carissa Griffin, or Mrs. Shanola Murray-Gill, and the deadline for application for these scholarships is Wednesday, 24th May 2023 at 11 a.m. Okay, so please remember that if you need information on these, you can go onto the Facebook page, or you can reach out to the ladies there at the Ministry of Human Resources. We also have the University of Medicine and Health Sciences and Windsor University of Medicine scholarship offers. Those open all year round, and it is on a revolving basis. So just to share the information with you, as I said, those are similar to the Ross University scholarships. They're awarded to 4 individuals at any given time. So as soon as a student graduates or exits the program, then it makes way for another student to access. Interested persons are asked to apply and be accepted to the UMHS or to Windsor. Upon university acceptance, individuals are then to apply to the Ministry of Human Resources. Applications will then be forwarded to the St. Kitts Human Resources Office for onward processing. The following documents are necessary for applications to be considered. So you have to do all this: the cover letter, you write the request, the scholarship request, and you address it to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Human Resources, Nevis Island Administration, Social Security Building. The original university acceptance letter along with 1 additional copy, original birth certificate or proof of nationality or citizenship along with 1 additional certified copy, and your original high school and or college transcripts along with 1 additional certified copy. Please note once again that there is no deadline for receiving the applications. However, it is important that upon receiving a university acceptance letter, scholarship applications are delivered promptly, as they go through quite a process to prior to approval. To apply, you will go on to the University of Medicine, Health Sciences, or Windsor University website, and you can get those, as I said, on the Facebook page for our Human Resources Department here on Nevis, which is NIA-HR scholarships. And then the final scholarship available call that has been posted comes from it's the Improving Environmental Management Through Sustainable Land Management Scholarships 2023. The Improving Environmental Management Through Sustainable Land Management in St. Kitts and Nevis project announces the call for scholarship applications under the project's scholarship initiative. Civil servants of St. Kitts and Nevis are invited to apply for scholarships to pursue a master's degree at any accredited university of their choice in 2023. The master's degree program must be in one of the following 5 prioritized thematic areas for the project. 1. Geographic Information Systems, GIS. 2. Land Use Planning. 3. Sustainable Land Management. 4. Climate Change and Climate Smart Agriculture. Or 5. Environmental Management of Ecosystem Restoration. To be considered for the scholarship, applicants must be a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis and has no other nationality and reside in country, be between ages 23 and 45, have at least 3 years of professional experience in the proposed field of study, be accepted into a graduate study program that does not exceed 2 years at a recognized institution within one of the thematic areas or fields previously listed, be employed with the St. Kitts and Nevis government for at least the last 3 consecutive years, demonstrate a minimum semester of grade GPA of 3.5 on a 4-point scale or its equivalent, and commit to working with the St. Kitts and Nevis government for at least 3 consecutive years upon completion of studies, and must not have any other scholarship or grant ongoing simultaneously, must be ready to take up the scholarship and pursue the prescribed course of study in 2023. And kindly note that the scholarship awardees will be required to fulfill bonding obligations. Deadline May 31st, 2023. And for additional guidance or to request an application form, please contact Mrs. Jones-Liburd, Miss Griffin, or Mrs. Murray-Gill at Human Resources. So those are the updates. Those are the scholarships currently available, and we encourage you once again to apply. Can't underscore that enough. And for those who are looking at getting ready for the 2023-2024 or for entry in 2024, listen out, take note, because a lot of the scholarship opportunities will come rolling throughout the course of this year in preparation for next year. So you should always try to be just about 1 year ahead so that you are able to access the various opportunities. We encourage you once again to really take advantage of all of these opportunities. All right, so we also want to remind all of our listeners that the application process for enrollment for the 2023-2024 academic year opened last week for most of the schools. For some schools, the previous week, and for some schools opened last week. We want to remind everyone that students who are intending to enroll in a public preschool, primary school, or secondary school must complete the application for enrollment form. I know that traditionally in years gone by we did not have an application process for students entering secondary school. However, this process is important as it allows us to get up-to-date information for our students who are transitioning from grade 6 to first form, and it allows the secondary schools to start the file on your child with the current information. So it's important for us to have that, and we hope by now that all of you have submitted your documents, but please note that you need to get that done, and we are expecting to have a good idea of what our system will look like for September 2023 by the end of this process. This process also helps us with our planning to know to project what we have to do, any modifications that need to be made, any provisions that need to be made. This information allows us to be able to do our planning. I know that many things happen behind the scenes and we don't quite know, and for us in the public, it's about opening the doors of school and closing the doors of school, but behind the scenes it's about having strong plans so that we are in a better place to support our students, to support their growth. We know which schools will be having what numbers, whether or not we need to make any adjustments infrastructurally, if we need to make any adjustments in terms of personnel. And so parents, we encourage you to get it done. We also encourage you, I want to take this opportunity to encourage you to complete the form with the documents attached. Many persons are trying to bring the documents that they may possibly have at that given time, but submitting incomplete applications, and incomplete applications do not help us. We need to make sure that they are complete, and so we encourage you to ensure that you bring all of the documents. All schools have given you a list of the documents which are needed, and so we want you to make sure that you have all of those documents. We also want you to take note that it is important that the person enrolling the student has some form of legal ties to the students, has some kind of, there's some documentation that that person has a legal say over the child. So we can't have random persons who have there's no trail of the connection with the child enrolling the child. If you come and you say to us, oh, I'm his great aunt, that doesn't mean anything to us. That's word of mouth. We need to make sure, as I said, our documents are concrete and that we have a connection. There, in some cases, we have some persons who may have accepted children into their homes, or are assisting the family in some way by having the child with them, and of course that is fine. It's encouraged if that serves for the betterment of the child. However, there must be something that indicates that that is the case when that person is doing the enrollment. Outside of that, please note that we parents, we have to take note of also birth certificates. So generally mothers are listed on birth certificates. For fathers, it's there sometimes, it's not there sometimes. However, if you are enrolling a child, there has to be some connection. There has to be something that is there, that is documented. So if you are the father enrolling the child, that is well in order. However, there must be something to say that you are the father of the child, or you're just another person enrolling a child. And if you are, like I say to parents all the time, if you are going to take responsibility and financial responsibility for a child, then it's important for you to take that next step. It only takes a few minutes. It doesn't take long for you to just add your name to the child's birth certificate, or to get some documentation from that indicates that structure is in place for the child. We are going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
When VON vibrates, the whole Caribbean must shake.
860 AM, the powerhouse.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know, we're gonna have a great time. An hour passes quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather round, and adventure is always waiting. The storytelling means for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Department of Education, and we're here with you today. We're sharing lots of information and updates, and we want you to, of course, take note of them and, of course, act accordingly. We announced a few scholarships which are being circulated through the Ministry of Human Resources earlier. We also shared or reminded parents who have children who are eligible for preschool, meaning they have turned 3 or are turning 3 by December 31st, 2023. Those who are eligible for preschool can enroll. Those who are eligible for kindergarten are due to enroll, and they should be 5 or have turned 5 by December 31st, 2023. And then those transition from grade 6 to first form also have to complete their enrollment. So we went through that bit of information. We also want to alert the public that the application process is currently open for the 2023 edition of the Prospective Teachers course. The Prospective Teachers course is an opportunity for us to recruit and to train and to support persons who are interested in teaching. And so there is actually a dual process. It's a process of applying for the course as well as applying for teaching in the upcoming school year. And as I said, the course The application process is currently open, and it will close at noon on May 19th, 2023. We're looking for persons who, I think I want to start off by saying you like children, you love children, you have a heart for children, because that is half of the battle. We are looking for people who are not just looking for a job or to do a job, but for people who are passionate and who want to make a difference and who are open-minded. You're open to training, you're open to instruction, you're open to guidance. And of course, dynamic, innovative, and qualified. And so what do we mean by qualified? We're looking for persons who have a minimum of 5 CSEC subjects, CXC subjects at general proficiencies of grades 1, 2, or 3, or if you have 5 GCE O-level passes. And we're also looking, or those passes must include English A, mathematics, social studies or history or geography. So those are social sciences, a science, and sciences include integrated science, human and social biology, general biology, agricultural science, or one of the pure sciences, chemistry, physics, any of those sciences, if you have those, and then one additional subject. Persons who are submitting documents which reflect CXC CAPE passes are reminded that acceptable passes are from grades 1 through 5. I want to remind us, and persons have asked over the years, why is it that we ask for these subjects as the minimum requirement? We believe that an entry-level as an entry-level applicant for teaching, your interest and your aim ultimately should be for further professionalization, and so the requirements stated align with the minimum requirements for entry into the Clarence Fitzroy-Brand College. We have faced an issue over the years where persons may have fallen short of some of the entry requirements, and life happened and they did not meet those minimum requirements, and it has made it more difficult for them to transition. And so we are asking that persons who, even students right now who are in high school, who may one day consider teaching, maybe you're not even thinking about teaching at the moment, and I've said to parents, as you guide your students through, similar to these requirements, you realize that the requirements for the MUA NIA scholarship were quite similar in terms of the subjects required, and so it is always wise to use this as your rule of thumb in your subject selection. Make sure that you have English A, that you have English B, that you have a social science, that you have a science, so that you're able to meet the minimum requirement for just about any profession that you may want to access. There are some persons who did not, or who are missing 1 or 2 subjects, and we encourage persons as they apply to go ahead and pursue those subjects. We encourage that because we want, once again, for them to be able to self-actualize and to be able to navigate the profession in a way that they feel fulfilled over time and that they're not frustrated. Sometimes it becomes easy to become frustrated when you want to self-actualize, you want to grow, you want a promotion, you want to do more, but you don't meet the minimum requirements. So we're helping you. It's a hard start. It's a hard way to as I said, some persons are so passionate and they've said, I really want to, and they found that once they meet the minimum requirement, most of them easily transition into tertiary education. So 5 subjects, and that's easy. You do not have to necessarily have them in one sitting. So there are some persons who 2 years ahead, they might say, I want to teach, and they start working on getting that done, and they take their subjects two at a time, or they take 3 the first year and 2 the second year, or vice versa. So we encourage you, if you want to teach, pay attention to the minimum requirements. They have not changed in many years because they align with entry into the associate's degree program at CFBC and the UE associate's degree program, and so that that is what we want our applicants to bear in mind. And I hope that I answered the question so that you understand why we have this as a minimum requirement, because there are some persons who call and they say, but I only want to teach preschool. And because I only want to teach preschool, I don't think that your requirements are fair. I want to let you know that I am passionate about preschool and early childhood, and I believe that the foundation, laying a strong foundation, is fundamental. I believe firmly that the days of acting as though preschool is a babysitting club are done, and so you have to have some level of efficacy, some level of mastery as it relates to some of these subjects, so that you can effectively communicate them and teach them to our students. And so some might say, well, I don't see why I need math, or I don't see why I need English A, because it's just preschool and we're not teaching the content. But it's not about content, it's about our opportunities and opportunities for you to grow. So the minimum requirement for entry into the early childhood program is the same, and so you will need math, you will need English, you will need your social science, you will need your science, so, and you will need another subject, at least 5. So know that calling and saying, well, you've met that, you don't see why you need to meet the requirement because you have, you only want to teach preschool. And there are times you're in the system and we need to make shifts, and sometimes you have your preference and then you have where the need is. And so we have to make sure that our persons are equipped. And I don't know that I encourage, or I know that I do not encourage us to belittle any level of education, or preschools or primary schools or secondary schools for that matter, by saying it's only. If we want to be professionals and we want to engender a culture of change and improvement and preparing our students for what is to come, preparing them for a strong future, it is important for us to be able to be equipped for that. So just as we wrap up with this point, the application process, as I said, closes on the 19th of May 2023. You can reach us at 469-552-15 Hosfords. You can, when you get there, you should collect 2 forms. One is the application into the course itself, and as I said, one is the application into the civil service. And you can email us at education.dept@niagovkn.com, and the packets can be collected between Monday and Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Our hard cutoff is May 19th at noon, so please, we are encouraging you not to try to circumvent that hard cutoff deadline. We have ample time to get our documents together. So we had the whole of this last week, we have the whole of this week, and then we've given an additional week, week 3, for you to be able to do that. Following the application process, commencing June 26th, we will have the actual course, and it will run from June 26th to July 7th, and then sometime during the week of July 10th we will have our interviews, our closeout interviews, and then we will start the process of placement for the new school year. So for persons who are currently working and you want an idea of the timeline for the course is a 2-week course running from June 26th to July 7th, and then we go into the interviews, and then you continue until you close out. If we call you, if we reach out to you. So as I said, open-minded. Education is about being dynamic. It's about ever changing. Things change so often, trends change, research causes us to change, data causes us to make changes and enhancements, and we can't be stuck in one way without some form of flexibility or open-mindedness where we see the potential in various approaches, and we work towards student success. At the end of the day, every learner must succeed. We want every student to do well within our system, and that is our ultimate goal. Not only within our system, but we are preparing global citizens, and we need to make sure that we take the steps to ensure that our students are ready to face anything out there that may come their way as they exit our system. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Sugar City St. Kitts, keep it sweet. Keep listening to Vaughn.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. An hour passes quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. You on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, you on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab the gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Let's start the show.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Vaughn Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughn Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Department of Education, and we're here with you today as we are on Saturdays to share information, updates, activities, anything that we can. Colleagues, listeners, I'm sorry, we have just a few more activities coming up I want to share with you. On Wednesday, we'll be having our inter-primary prize giving ceremony and fun day for our athletes, and that will take place on Wednesday from 11 a.m. at the Nevis Athletic Stadium. So we will distribute the awards and prizes, and then right after we will have a little fun activity for our students. Coming up this Friday, we have the spelling bee, which I'll tell you a little bit more about after this short break. And we'll be right back.
You're listening to Vaughn Radio from the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. An hour passes quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab the gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Let's go. It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. An hour passes quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start let's gather round, an adventure is always waiting. The storytelling means for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Department of Education, and just before that break, we were sharing with you that coming up this Friday, we have the Interscholastic Spelling Bee, both at the primary level and at the secondary level. At 9 a.m. on Saturday, we will see our primary school students at NIPAP, and they will compete in 3 rounds. We want to encourage you, all 10 of our primary schools will be represented. We want to encourage you to stop by to support our spellers, to support our students. We know that there are many things that we support them actively with, and we want that level of balance, like I said, and I've said over and over again, the level of enthusiasm that we have when it comes to track and field, athletics, or sports in general. We want to see that level of enthusiasm when it comes to academics. So we will see 10 teams representing 10 schools, and they will, as I said, conduct the spelling competition will be conducted in 3 rounds. So we look forward to your support. We look forward to your presence at the Michael Harold Sutton Auditorium, Nevis Performing Arts Center. That takes place at 9 a.m. Then at 1 p.m. we return for the spelling bee for the secondary schools, the interscholastic competition for the secondary schools, and they will have their round, their due. We have 3 secondary schools, so we will see Gingerland Secondary, Charlestown Secondary, and Nevis International Secondary Schools competing in the spelling bee. And so we know that sometimes our presence kind of dissipates after primary school and secondary school parents and community. We don't see your presence sometimes at the secondary events, but we're asking for your presence as well, your support for that meet, that competition. We know that there are many other things competing for your attention, but we would like for you to make sure that you are present, not only physically, but also tuned in and supporting our students. We will try to keep that competition tight so that we can keep you interested, and the rules and guidelines will be shared with the students. The day before the competition, we will have a dry run, and that will eliminate or decrease the length of time that is expected this upcoming week. I also want to share with you, and I share this each week because it is important for us to remember as well, that we will be having our inaugural STEM week coming up May 22nd to 26th, 2023. We've never had a STEM week before. Next week we'll spend some time, we'll have some special guests in studio to share with you as it relates to STEM week 2023, our inaugural edition. However, just for you to save your dates, so on May 22nd, that's the Monday, we will have the soft launch at the various schools, where we will have students being told a bit about or being introduced to the concept of STEM and STEM education. And then on Tuesday we will have Math Infusion Day, where we're encouraging every teacher, every subject to highlight mathematics in some way during their class session at all levels. And so whether it be a literature lesson or a science lesson or social studies lesson. Spend some time highlighting mathematics at some point during the course of the day. Then on based, forward-thinking, progressive approach to the quiz. And so the STEM challenge will take place in an open forum. They'll have teams, they'll have point system, there will be a criteria, and the students will receive their points via that method. That's happening on the 20. To get it done, the second challenge, they might have a certain, so each challenge has a certain number of minutes in which the activity has to be done. They're expected to work collaboratively at some point. We wanted to ensure, every time you have a general quiz, it's always the same students who are selected based on that activity. So that is the STEM challenge happening on the 24th. On the 26th, we have our major STEM Expo, inaugural STEM Expo, and during the Expo, but we expect to see each school will have a booth displaying activities which they've done in the area of STEM during the course of the school year, and then we will have a community and come up with a way to solve it or to approach it using renewable energy for this, and the schools will each have a competition piece for this component. We look forward to the various displays, but most of all we look forward that we'll also get a lot of support from the students, and they will feel encouraged to try these activities. On Friday, we expect applications for prospective teachers, applications for enrollment,